Hello guys and welcome back. Today I'm here to give you the AzureWrath Hota build. This one's been super fun to build, super fun to play, and we are kind of like the Pac-Man of Barbarians, just walking around smack, 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 smack as fast as possible. There are some things required to make this build work. That are a little out of the ordinary, so I'm going to go over them so you know how to make the build, and then we'll showcase it and show you how it runs through these dungeons. Super fun to play. So, first of all, we will say we are using AzureWrath. This is part of our CC package. We are a CC-focused build, heavy CC-focused. So our CC consists of AzureWrath 20% on lucky hit for a core skill to freeze an enemy and do a little bit of splash damage. We also run direct damage against bleeding enemies. It has a 30% chance to stun them for 2 seconds. And also, in our abilities, we do run 2 points into the concussion passive in order to get the 20% stun chance for 3 seconds when using two-handed bludgeoning weapons. This combination of the CC, oh, and let me add, also running when you hit a crowd-controlled enemy, there's a 50% chance for that crowd control effect to spread to another unaffected enemy. This combination of things gives us near like 80-90% uptime on crowd control on our enemies. And how we maintain that is through insane amounts of attack speed. So let's run over the gear real quick. Helmet, same thing as always. We're running a defensive helm. You could try to replace one of these stats with a max fury roll to do a little bit more damage, but I prefer to stay defensive. As we move on to our chest piece, in order to try to maintain as high uptime on our shouts as possible in this current patch and the way things have been nerfed and changed with our cooldown reductions, we're running everything we can as far as cooldown reduction, right? So as far as our glyphs, as far as our gear, etc., anywhere we can find cooldown reduction, we're going to use it. So we are running this for the skill cooldown. As on our gloves, it's just we want strength, a critical strike chance. We want ranks to Hammer of the Ancients and attack speed. And then imprinted with when you hit a crowd control enemy, there's a 50% chance for that crowd control effect to spread to another unaffected enemy. On our pants, we are completely defensive. We are just running all defensive rolls. Damage reduction from close, damage reduction from bleeding, and total armor are my preferred rolls. And then we're going to run Iron Skin grants Unstoppable and 28% damage reduction. On our boots, Fury cost reduction, movement speed, all stats, and strength. Direct damage against bleeding enemies has up to a 30% chance to stun them for 2 seconds for our aspect. On our two-handed weapon, we are running critical strike damage, all stats, vulnerable damage, and strength. Imprinted with critical strikes with core skills, increase your attack speed by 50% for 5 seconds. For our first one-hander, we are running AzureWrath. For our second one-hander, we are running core skill damage, strength, vulnerable damage, and critical strike damage. Imprinted with skills to deal up to 10% increased damage based on your available primary resource when cast, receiving the maximum benefit while you have full primary resource. We would rather this be a 20% roll. I don't have any on me right now, so just keep in mind the build would be doing some more damage if we were running a better rolled aspect. For our second two-hander, critical strike damage, all stats, vulnerable damage, core skill damage, and imprinted with Hammer of the Ancients, quakes outward, dealing 100% of its damage to enemies. This just makes this build viable for AoE damage. If you were fighting boss fights, you would want to remove this aspect and probably stick this aspect here on the two-hander instead, and then find something else to stick on the one-hander. For our jewelry, we're running a defensive amulet. Damage, you can run offensive here. As we're Hammer's like a little riskier to run than Whirlwind because you're standing still when you attack, I found, so I like to be defensive on the amulet as well. Damage reduction from distant enemies, ranks to defensive skills, total armor, fury cost reduction. On our rings, running whenever you cast a shout skill, its cooldown is reduced by 1.9 seconds per nearby enemy, up to a maximum of 6 seconds. Vulnerable, critical strike damage, critical strike chance, and last roll is up to you. Max Fury would be probably most beneficial for this build, but you can also run health and other things as well. For the second ring, it's the same rolls. We're just going to run your shout skills generate 4 Fury per second while active instead. Moving on to our expertise, we are running the two-handed sword expertise. This is because we do not have any skills using this sword, so we need it for the bleed damage to proc all of our juicy bleed bits off of the Paragon board. Moving on to abilities. We are Lunging Strike up into Combat Lunging Strike. That is all for that board. On our core skill board, we are running all 5 points into Hammer of the Ancients, up into Furious Hammer of the Ancients, 3 points into Pressure Point. As we come down, it's the normal defensive package: Rallying Cry, Iron Skin, Challenging Shout, Tactical Rallying Cry, Tactical Iron Skin, Tactical Challenging Shout. As we move down here into our brawling skills, 1 point into War Cry. This is personal preference. I choose Power War Cry for additional damage when there's more enemies. For our passives, we're 3 points into Booming Voice, and 2 points into Guttural Yell, 2 points into Raid Leader. As we move down to our weapon mastery skills, we are 3 points into Pit Fighter, 3 points into No Mercy, 1 point into Hamstring, 1 point into Thick Skin so that we can get through to counter offensive. As we move down to our ultimate skills, we are 3 points into Heavy Handed, 3 points into Wallop, 2 points into Concussion, 3 points into Tempered Fury, 3 points into Invigorating Fury, and finally 1 point into Walking Arsenal. This is going to be different than you're going to see for a lot of builds. That is the reason, is it is so hard to maintain Hammer of the Ancients with the attack speed that we have, because we are attacking so fast that if we do not run, if we run Unbridled Rage, we will burn out of resources immediately. So Walking Arsenal is required. And yeah, let's get right into the Paragon board. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. People don't like to hear the yada yada about the Paragon board. We're just going to stop on each one, let you look at it for a second, and then move on. Nothing really different on the base board. We are running the Wrath Glyph. On this board, we are running the Martial Glyph for Shout cooldown. On the Blood Rage board, we are running Disembowel. This is one that's coming back that has not been used in the meta for a long time, but we are now using this because we need that extra Shout cooldown whenever we can get it. For the Warbringer board, we are running Exploit. This is still going to be beneficial until the vulnerable damage becomes additive, which they are working on changing things to be that way, but for now it is still a multiplier and it is a best in slot. We move up to the Flawless Technique board. All we're coming up here for is to grab the crit multipliers that are right here in this corner. We don't care about much else on this board. And finally, for our last board, we are running the Weapons Master board. And on the Weapons Master board, we are running the Territorial Glyph. Alright, I'm going to showcase the build real quick. We're just going to run through this dungeon and kind of show you how it works. It's basically the same as any other type of Hota build, except for we are just going to be super speed. So like I said, we're kind of like Pac-Man, and what I mean by that is, like, if we run in and I start attacking stuff, and as soon as we get the crit, we just beat, bink, 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 and we just kind of Pac-Man on our way around the map, killing stuff. These guys are increased health, which is quite annoying. Okay. Dink, 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 dink. So you can see our damage numbers are like, they're not as high as like if we were running some other things, but we're literally attacking twice as fast, right? Boom, 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 and everything's just locked down. We just keep everything CC locked. And the reason we're able to keep everything, oops, something's killing me still. So the reason that we're able to keep everything CC locked is because of the attack speed, right? So like if we lower our attack speed, you're gonna find guys breaking loose from our attacks. And yeah, we really don't want that, right? So as long as we keep our attack speed just humming along, and if we can hit for 1 to 2 to 3 mil, you know, every half a second, which is about what we hit once we get rolling, like, it's really not a big deal, you know, that we're doing a little bit less damage, because yeah, we're just keeping them locked down and smashing away. Now let's go get rid of this guy. These guys make our life difficult, right? Also, the more fury we have, the more damage we do with Hota. So if we end up running the Unbridled Rage in our skills, what happens is our fury drops so low that we're losing like 100%. We're losing like 100% bonus damage anyways when our fury drops down. So not running that allows us to keep our fury topped off pretty good as we're attacking things, and allows us to maintain the buffs from that.
ready yet.
Smashy, smashy. Uh oh, I think I hear a butcher somewhere in here. I swear every time I do a build video, a butcher appears in my runs.
Not ready yet.
Maybe I'm tripping, maybe he's not here. You can see how these guys just kind of get locked down. It's really fun. It really is like a very fun build to play. Like I said, you just kind of feel like Pac-Man just chomping around the map.
I'm not ready yet.
Smashy, smashy, smashy. Go rescue these guys real quick. What do we have here? We got someone here. Just freeze him up real quick so he can't move. Not a problem. There we go. Easy peasy. So yeah, that's about it. I will probably let this run through so you guys can see it being played, and yeah, just kind of make a judge for yourself whether you'd like to give it a go. It's a ton of fun to play, and yeah.
I'm not ready yet.
Bless you.
Oh. We freed a guy over here somewhere. Oh, vampiric fun. That's what we needed. I swear these dungeons and this, the rotation in these new ones, well, a lot of these are much longer than before.
I'm not ready yet.
Yum.
I don't have enough fury. I'm not ready yet. Ready yet. I'm not ready yet. Ready yet. I'm not ready yet. Ready yet. I must wait. I'm not ready yet.
Oops, my bad. Sorry about that. I'm really, just bad habits, you know. Well, not bad habits, but bad habits for doing a build bit for you guys. The other thing is our attack speed is so fast in this build, right? That like if we need to get Fury back from light attacks, it's really not a big deal. It's just like smack, 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 real quick. It literally takes less than a second to refill our Fury back to full. So. Thanks for watching, guys. If you stuck around this long, I really do appreciate it. I know with all the recent patches and changes, it's been difficult and rough for the Barbarian, but I am going to try to get some new builds out and adjust, because we do have some buffs coming here shortly. And when those buffs come, I'm going to be reevaluating all of these builds and getting them fixed up for you guys. Again, I really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy life, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.